here today with Annita Rodgers, a resident of nearby Thornton, Colorado, who published her first book, Shadows of the Past, in July of this year. Annita is originally from France, and her father was a German SS officer, so she has a fascinating story to tell. Annita, thank you so much for being here and agreeing to chat with me today.
Hi, thank you for coming.
First of all, congratulations on your book. How does it feel to be a published author?
I honestly have no feelings because it wasn't meant to be published. It was never meant to be published. It was when I found my father's memoirs after 44 years, I translated them, as I said in the book, from German to English so my husband could read them because he doesn't speak French or German. Mm-hmm. And when I finished translating it, he read it and he said, Annita, you need to add your life to it. And I said, well, I'll do that in time. So that was done over a period of 6 years. Just do it, forget about it for 6 months. I always thought, when I'm gone, the kids will find it, read it, and there was never an idea of any publishing. So I met a young woman who was doing children books, and we talked about it.
That was me.
Yes, and she gave me the phone number of
Michael
Genet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I met with Michael and I gave him my manuscript, page by page, which he wasn't used to. And he said it would take a while to read because he had other manuscripts going too. And he called me 3 days later. He said, Annita, we need to meet. This has to be published.
And so then what happened?
I called him back 3 days later and I asked him if I could meet him to get my manuscript back because I was not going to publish it. I was not interested. Well, it didn't happen that way. He came with a contract and my husband pushed, Daphne pushed, and I signed the contract.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad you did. And, for the people who haven't read your book, can you just explain a little bit about the topic, what it's about?
Well, it's, first of all, the memoirs of my father came to me in 1972 when he came to visit me in America. Mm-hmm. And he brought these memoirs that he had kept hidden under his bed and plank bed or whatever there when he was a prisoner of the French.
Because he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, to write, yeah. So he kept all that, and then in the 1960s, in the early 60s, the writing, he put it together with his typewriter. So,
So this is in German, and you translated it yourself?
So I translated that myself, and I want to emphasize too that I changed absolutely nothing of what he wrote because I always said it's not a novel, it's a memoir. It has to stay the way he wrote it.
Right.
Mistakes, and it's what I told Michael, mistakes or no mistakes in there, it has to stay as he wrote it, not changing it and all that. So,
well, I read it. It's a very compelling story. It's very well written. So even as a former editor, I wouldn't have changed anything. Okay. It was very well written.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I translated it from German to English so my husband could read it. Mm-hmm. And then when he read it, he said, you need to add your memoirs to that because I had a difficult childhood. And I did that over a period of maybe 6 years, off and on. It was not going to be ever to be published. It was more for my children later. I thought I'll do what Papa did so the kids can read it later. When I read it, it was difficult for me to read, what he wrote down and his life and it's not at all what I expected either, because I was so brainwashed in my family against him. So
right. So they thought he was a monster.
Oh yeah, he was a killer. He was a monster, and it was not. No one said anything good about him, So
well, what came across to me in the book is that your father was able to keep his soul, despite having to kill or be killed, and despite all the atrocities
that he saw.
So did you, while you were writing your part of the book, Did you have any rituals, or, I mean, did you light candles, or did you have something to motivate you to sit down and
No,
write?
not at all.
No?
It came, it went.
So when you would get inspired, you would sit down and
I
write?
would say, oh, today I have time. I have an hour or two. Let's just write a little bit. And then I wouldn't do anything for weeks, and then I'd pick it up again. It was never a ritual. Because it was never meant to be that somebody expected me to be done by a certain time, or
Right.
wanted to be done. It was for the kids, for later.
There were no publishing deadlines?
No.
Yeah. How about your biggest supporters along the way? Who,
Well,
who
my
supported
husband-
you? through
My
the
husband
process?
to begin with, because he was the one pushing for me to translate it, first of
What's
all.
his name?
Robert.
Robert.
Yeah. And then my daughter Natalie was pretty much, Mom, I've never read it, and she really didn't want to read it because she heard so many things about it that would hurt her feelings. She said, I didn't think I could read what my mom went through. She made a real beautiful speech at the signing there. And then, but she said, Mom, get it out, So it was really Robert and my daughter Natalie.
What do you hope your readers take away from the book? What message or what feelings do you want them to walk away with?
Well, to see that life, I think more of younger people, or maybe even middle-aged people who never went through anything, sometimes it bothers me when I hear people in their 40s, 50s, 60s complaining because they can't get this or can't get that, and I think, oh my God, you have no clue of what life has been and is even today throughout the world.
Right. And
And
we're
so-
very entitled here in the United States.
Yeah, very spoiled, and so it would be more for younger people to understand that life is difficult. It can be very difficult for some people. I have to say one thing that is not in the book. I saw an interview once on TV. It was, I don't remember which country. It could have been Syria or whatever. And an American newspaper man interviewed a young 14-year-old boy. He said, what is the dream of your life? He said, oh, my dream, and it brought tears to my eyes. He said, would be walking in the New York City streets with a phone on my ear. And I thought, how little that kid, that would have made him happy compared to the spoiled children we have here today that don't know anything about life.
Right.
And if one or two could read this and see that there were other ways to survive and to get through life without food, without,
What you and your siblings went through was horrific.
Yeah,
and,
because we didn't
painful.
have a family that took care of us. I was 9 and I had to take care of my brother, and
You were like their mother.
they depended on me. And when I see an 8, 9-year-old girl today, I think, was I that little? And I did that. I can't even imagine it, But in those days, there was no choice, and I think this is what made me strong.
Right.
Made me strong.
So while I was reading your book, I kept thinking this needs to be made into a movie. And I've heard other people say the same thing.
I
So
heard that, yeah.
if this were a movie, who would you want to play your father?
I
What
wouldn't
actor?
even know.
No?
I would have no clue because it would have to be a young man and a middle-aged man and
They can use CGI now to age actors.
age people. Yeah. I would have no clue because I never thought of it. I never expected this to come out,
Right,
and even less a movie.
right. So I'm wondering, Annita, if there were any surprises during the process of writing the book.
The one surprise was the number of books that was sold the day of the signing, where Michael Genet even said he never had that happen.
So at the book launch?
At the book launch, yeah, we sold 121 books.
Oh, congratulations.
At the book launch,
Yeah, that's wonderful.
And then the number of people after that called me and told me how they felt about it, and not one negative comment has come out of it. And
Right. Well, I'm not surprised by that because I loved your book. It's wonderful.
I still have a very difficult time with it, so.
Yeah, it's so sad to read about an innocent
No
young
children
girl.
should go through that,
No.
and I do think that throughout this history we have now, so many are going through a lot of difficult times.
Right. Well, I'm very glad that you survived, and I'm glad that you shared your story. And I'm
published
sure...
it so late in life.
Right. And that's how inspiring is that, you know, at 83, right? You published your first book at 83.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for your time today. Her book again is Shadows of the Past. You can buy the book directly from Annita, and there will be a link in the article accompanying this video. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.